Forget grammar. Forget boring classes. Today, you're going to think in English like a millionaire. With a book that changed the world, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Today, we're diving into English with Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But listen, this isn't just about English. It's about the truth behind success, money, and freedom. Because this book, it's not just words on paper. It's a wake-up call. A message that divides those who stay broke. From those who rise, think different, and build real wealth. In this video, you're going to discover the core lessons from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Why some people work their whole lives and stay stuck, while others learn the rules of money and escape the system completely. You'll learn the difference between working for money and making money work for you. You'll see why schools never teach this, and how one simple mindset shift can change everything. So don't you dare leave before the end, because I'm going to share one of the most powerful lessons from this book, a lesson that can completely change the way you see your future. And if you want more videos like this, where we learn English through ideas that actually make you grow, make sure you hit subscribe right now. Because here at the 1% English, we don't just learn English, we learn how to think like the 1%. Now let's dive in and uncover what the rich dad knew, that the poor dad never understood. Chapter 1. The rich don't work for money. Rich people think in a different way. Poor people work for money. Rich people make money work for them. Most people wake up, go to work, and get a paycheck. They feel happy for a short time. Then the bills come. They feel afraid again. So they work more. This is called the rat race. Rich Dad wanted young Robert to learn something important. Money is not the goal. Learning is the goal. When Robert said, "I want more money," Rich Dad said, "You learn nothing if I just pay you more." He wanted Robert to think, not just to work. Money is like a tool. You can use it to build things, or it can control you. Poor people say, "I need a better job." Rich people say, "How can I make money in a new way?" Poor people say, "I can't afford it." Rich people say, "How can I afford it?" That small question, how, changes everything. When you work only for money, you lose your freedom, because you are selling your time. Rich people don't sell time. They build things that make money even when they sleep. They're not afraid. They learn. They take control of their life. The first lesson of this book is simple. Don't work only for money. Learn how money works. Then, make money work for you. Chapter 2. Why teach financial literacy? It's not about how much money you make. It's about how much you keep and how hard your money works for you. Rich Dad said, "If you want to be rich, learn what an asset is and what a liability is." This is the secret. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out. Simple, right? But most people get it wrong. They buy a big house and say, "This is my asset." But every month, they pay the bank. They pay taxes. They pay repairs. That house takes money away. It's not an asset. It's a liability. Rich people buy assets. Things that give money, not take it. They buy small houses and rent them out. They invest in businesses, stocks, or real estate. Their money works for them all the time. Poor people buy things that look nice but lose value. A new car, a big TV, a new phone. It feels good for a moment, but it makes them broke later. Rich Dad said, "If you want freedom, stop buying things that take your money. Start buying things that give you money." Schools don't teach this. They teach how to work for money, not how money works for you. You can have a big salary and still be poor if you spend everything. You can have a small salary and still grow rich if you keep buying assets. The lesson is simple. Don't just earn. Don't just spend. Learn how to keep and grow your money. That's what real financial literacy means. Chapter 3. Mind your own business. Rich Dad said, "Don't spend your life building someone else's dream. Build your own." Most people work hard every day. They wake up early, go to work, get a paycheck, and think that's success. But who really gets rich? The owner of the company. When you work for someone, you build their wealth. When you build your own business or buy your own assets, you build your wealth. That's why Rich Dad said, mind your own business. Even if you have a job, start thinking like an owner. Your job is not your business. Your real business is your assets. Start growing them slowly, step by step. It could be a small investment, a little side project, a rental house, or even an idea that grows into something big. Rich Dad told Robert, I worked for a company, but I was always building my own business on the side. That's how he became free. Not from his job, but from depending on it. Maybe you're a teacher, a nurse, or a driver. That's your profession. But your business is what gives you income when you stop working. The rich focus on owning, not just earning. They buy things that keep paying them, even when they sleep. The poor and middle class keep chasing promotions. The rich keep chasing freedom. So, even if you're working for someone today, remember, use that job to build your business. Don't stop learning. Don't stop investing. Don't stop growing your own assets. Because one day, your business, not your boss, will be the one paying you. Chapter 4. The History of Taxes and the Power of Corporations. Rich Dad said, the rich don't work harder. They work smarter. Most people think taxes are fair. But the truth is, the rich play a different game. They understand the rules, and they use them. A long time ago, taxes were made to take money from the rich. But over time, everything changed. Now, the middle class pays the most. Why? Because the rich use corporations, and most people don't. A corporation is not a big building. It's a legal tool. It's like a smart shield that protects money. When you work as an employee, you get paid, then pay taxes. The government takes its part first. You live on what's left. But when you own a corporation, it's different. You earn money. You pay for your business expenses, travel, equipment, learning, and then pay taxes on what remains. That's why the rich stay rich. They understand the system. They learn how money, law, and taxes work together. Rich Dad said, it's not about cheating. It's about knowing. The rich don't break the rules. They study them. Financial education is real power. If you don't understand how the system works, you'll always be controlled by it. The middle class works for money. The rich make money work inside a system that protects them. So what's the lesson? Don't just earn, learn. Learn how money flows. Learn how taxes work. Learn how to use the same tools the rich use. Because once you understand the rules, you can finally start winning the game. Chapter 5. The Rich Invent Money. Rich Dad said, money doesn't make you rich. Your mind does. Most people wait for the right opportunity. They say, I'll start when I have more money. But that day never comes. The rich think differently. They don't wait, they create. Rich Dad taught, opportunities are not found. They are made. And how do you make them? With knowledge, creativity, and courage. You don't need a lot of money to start. You need a smart idea and the will to act. Kiyosaki told a story about buying cheap houses that others ignored. He used a little money, made a smart deal, and turned it into profit. Not because he was lucky, but because he saw what others didn't. That's financial intelligence. It's not just knowing numbers, it's understanding possibilities. Rich people see problems as doors to new ideas. Poor people see problems and stop. Your greatest asset is not your wallet. It's your mind. If you train it to see opportunities, you'll never be poor again. Fear keeps most people stuck. They're afraid to lose, so they never play. But Rich Dad said, winners are not people who never fail. They're people who never stop learning. When you learn more, you see more. When you see more, you create more. And when you create more, you don't chase money. Money chases you. So stop saying, I can't. Start asking, how can I? Because the rich don't wait for chances. They invent them. Chapter 6. Work to learn, don't work for money. Rich Dad said, the most powerful investment you can make is in yourself. Most people look for jobs that pay more money. But the rich look for jobs that teach more skills. Money disappears. Skills stay forever. When you learn a new skill, you grow. And when you grow, your value grows too. Kiyosaki once worked for Xerox, not because of the salary, but to learn how to sell. He said it was hard at first. He was shy. He didn't like rejection. But he knew sales is life. Sales is not just selling a product. It's selling ideas, dreams, and confidence. It's how leaders inspire people. The rich understand this. They learn communication, marketing, and leadership. They study how people think, how businesses work, and how money moves. Each job is a classroom. Every challenge is a lesson. Poor Dad said, go to school, get good grades, find a safe job. Rich Dad said, use your job to learn, then build something of your own. Don't stay in one place because it feels safe. Comfort is a trap. Growth only happens when you step into something new. So if you want to be rich, don't just ask, how much will they pay me? Ask, what will I learn here? Because one day, your skills will make you more money than any paycheck ever could. Chapter 7, Overcoming Obstacles. Rich Dad said, it's not the world that keeps you poor. It's your mind. Everyone wants to be rich, but few people have the courage to face what stops them inside. The truth? Money problems don't start in your wallet. They start in your thoughts. The biggest enemy is fear. Fear of losing money. Fear of failing. Fear of what others will say. Rich Dad said, every rich person has lost money, but they didn't let fear win. The poor lose once and never try again. The rich learn the lesson, stand up, and keep moving. Then comes cynicism, the little voice that says, it won't work. It's too risky. It's a scam. That voice kills more dreams than failure ever will. People who doubt too much never act. And no action means no change. Laziness is another trap. It hides behind, I'm too busy. But busy doing what? Working hard for others, instead of building your own future? Then there are bad habits. Spending before saving. Buying comfort instead of freedom. Rich Dad said, pay yourself first, always. Even a small amount saved and invested grows over time. And finally, arrogance. Thinking you already know everything. That closes the door to learning. The rich stay curious. The poor stay certain. Success is not about never falling. It's about never stopping. The strong are not fearless. They just act despite the fear. So if you want to be rich, remember this. Your biggest battle is not outside. It's inside. Win that battle, and no obstacle can stop you again. Chapter 8, Getting Started. Rich Dad said, you don't need money to start. You need a reason. Most people say, I'll start when I have money. But that's not how the rich begin. They start with a dream, a goal, a reason that burns inside. If your reason is strong enough, you'll find a way. If it's weak, you'll find an excuse. Rich Dad told Robert, don't think about comfort. Think about freedom. Comfort keeps you stuck. Freedom pushes you forward. So what's your reason? Maybe you want time for your family. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to stop worrying about bills. Whatever it is, make it your why. Then start small. Learn. Take action. Make mistakes. But never stop moving. Kiyosaki began with almost nothing. He didn't wait for the perfect time. He learned first, earned later. He studied money, practiced, and invested a little at a time. That's how success grows, slow, steady, and smart. Each small step builds confidence. Each small win teaches you something. Over time, those small steps become big change. Financial freedom doesn't start with money. It starts with mindset, with discipline, with consistency. So don't wait for luck. Don't wait for enough. Start where you are. Use what you have. Learn every day. Because the richest people didn't start rich. They started ready. Chapter 9, Still want more? Here are some to-dos. Rich Dad said, don't wait for change. Create it. If you really want to be rich, stop blaming others. Stop blaming the government, your boss, or your past. Look in the mirror. That's where your power begins. Rich people take control. Poor people wait for permission. So what can you do today? 1. Pay yourself first. Before you pay bills or buy anything, save something for you. Even a small amount builds a habit of wealth. It tells your mind, I come first. 2. Learn one thing at a time. Don't try to know everything about money right away. Pick one area, like real estate, stocks, or business, and master it. One skill deeply learned is worth more than 10 half-learned. 3. Be around the right people. Rich Dad said, your friends decide your future. Spend time with people who think big, who talk about ideas, not problems. Their mindset will pull you higher. 4. Keep learning. Always. The game of money never ends. It only changes. Read. Watch. Ask questions. Try things. The more you know, the more you see. 5. Take action, even small ones. Thinking doesn't make you rich. Doing does. Every step, every risk, every lesson adds up. Kiyosaki said he never stops learning. He reads, meets investors, studies mistakes, and acts boldly. That's his secret. Not luck, consistency. Because money grows like knowledge, slowly, then suddenly. It builds, it compounds, it multiplies. So if you still want more, don't just dream it. Do it. Start now. Learn something new today. Make one small move toward your freedom. Because wealth isn't built in a day. It's built every day. Poor people work for money while rich people make money work for them. True wealth begins in the mind, not in the wallet. To become rich, you must learn, think differently, and control your emotions, because money follows those who understand it. Buy assets, not things that lose value. Learn about money, not just school subjects. Control fear and greed, so emotions do not rule your choices. Use the law to protect and grow your money. Work to learn, not just to earn, and think like an investor, not an employee. Start small, but move forward every day. Write down your income and expenses to see where your money goes. Discover what builds wealth and what takes it away. Read books about money, start saving and investing even small amounts, and create more than one source of income. Learn how to sell, talk, and negotiate better. Spend less today so you can invest more tomorrow. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is not just a book about money. It is a new way to live and think. When you change your mind, you change your life. Stop working only for money and start making money work for you. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave your comment below. Tell us what you learned or what inspired you most from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Your opinion helps this community grow and reach more people who want to learn about money and freedom. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.